video that I wanted to make unfiltered. I didn't want to squish it in 3 minutes as I usually do. I was thinking about the time that I finally managed to understand what was needed for me to not be bullied anymore. Now, a little background for me. I was always bullied, like always. When you're autistic, when you're neurospicy, when you are a creative person, you are always targeted. And this is what happened to me. The mean stares, the everyone is invited to the group gathering except me, the comments, the passive aggressiveness. Even though it was never explicitly violent, so I thought that there was something wrong with what I was doing. Not with me as a person. I was loved as a child, so I didn't have like horrible self-esteem, but I thought I was doing something inappropriate. I thought that I was maybe acting in some weird, incorrect way that I could not see. And so I started studying because by the time that I was already a teenager, we had YouTube. By the way, the panting is my dog over there. I started how to I started studying how to be more charismatic, how to understand more people, how to um, fit in better in a group. It never really worked. It it followed me from college to my work, and the point where I really figured it out was when I entered a co- core, a group of people singing when I was already an adult. There was one day in which I was looking for my uniform. We had a presentation the next day, and someone, well, I didn't realize it at the time, but someone hid my things. I was looking for my uniform, which I needed to go next to the presentation the next day, and I just couldn't find it. And then I received a message from someone that said, "Don't tell them that I told you this, but this and this person hid your stuff." And that's where everything fit for me, because all the time I thought maybe they are being mean to me because I'm doing something that makes them uncomfortable. Maybe I could be better. Maybe there's something I could do. Hello, dear person. If you have something to say, just ask me a question. Okay, so I'm going to recap a little bit. I was always bullied, and I tried to fix it. I tried to understand what was wrong with what I was doing until I entered like this, I cannot pronounce this word, core of singing group of people organization, and they hid my stuff right before there was a presentation. I received a message from someone that told me they hid your stuff. And this is where everything clicked, because all the time I was thinking there's something wrong with me. And there I was with a group of adults who hid my stuff. Like, you guys have to understand the nonsense. They were adults behaving like kids. This is the time where I finally understood I'm not doing anything wrong. They are just dumb. That's it. That's it. Nothing can justify hiding the things of another adult. That's 5-year-old behavior. All the time I thought that there was something that I could fix, that I needed to adapt, and no, all the time the things that my husband, my lovely husband, had always told me, they were true. They were always bullying me just because they were nasty. And so once I realized that, I was laughing. I couldn't even be mad. It was so ridiculous. I went, I talked to them, I got my stuff back, and I wish, thank you so much. Well, And this is the part that I wish that I remembered the story better, because probably I was still in a shock, and that's why I don't have the memory, the exact memory. I remember I asked for my stuff and they gave it to me. And I remember they were very uncomfortable, and I remember that they felt like weirded out. I don't remember exactly what I said. Most likely what weirded them out was my whole vibe of this is ridiculous. Are you 5 years old? Please give me back my stuff. What they were expecting most likely was anger, sadness, just to humiliate me. And once I realized the type of people that I was dealing with, I I just I just couldn't take them seriously anymore. I got my stuff. Did the I did the presentation the next day. Everything went fine. Now, after this, there has been no bullying in my life. These people, hello, these people feed on your insecurity. They were feeding on this sensation that I had of something is wrong with me, I need to be better. They feed on those feelings. Once I understood that the only reason that they were mean was because they were nasty, it all stopped. Now, I cannot control what people say behind my back. They do not bully me in my face anymore, but they don't like autistic. You can't hear me. Oh no. Let's see if I can get a little better. I don't have a mic, guys, so when you realize that people are feeding on your insecurity and you feel like safe within yourself, the bullying just stops. You cannot control anymore if they are talking something to your back, but at the very least they have to pretend to respect you when they are in front of you, and that is all I can ask. There was something else that I was going to say, but that last comment of my voice being too low like took me out of the flow. Guys, are you able to listen to me, or am I just talking to myself? I'm just gonna wait a tiny bit. Like it's my voice audible. Well, anyways, that is the full story. There's also something else I remembered. Once I started making my videos, I realized that my movements are different. That I move weird. I move weird. I look a little bit uncoordinated. I move differently, and that just brought a whole level of self-compassion to my situation, because again I realized that I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was just being me, existing, and people didn't like me just because the way I was. And this is something that it's different among most of us autistic and just neurotypicals. When we see something different, we are attracted to it. We feel compassion. When they feel something different, they feel aggressive. They feel like it's a threat. So again, the whole situation of there's nothing wrong with me and people were just being unkind, well, it was again confirmed. The funny thing, the highlight of this video is that you have a question, make the question. There are studies right now, guys, that people don't like neurodiverse people, even when they don't know if that they are neurodiverse. Like they made a study. No, I'm from Latin America. They made a study in which they made people decide if certain faces of people were trustworthy or not. And all the time, they selected the neurodiverse people as not trustworthy. So this is not in my imagination. This is not in our imagination. We as neurodiverse people are bullied just by existing, and I believe that the way to overcome that is by knowing that it's ridiculous and that there's absolutely nothing wrong with us. They stop after we realize that. Okay, guys, so that is pretty much over the message that I have for today. Thank you very much for stopping by and listening to me. And if you are listening to this afterwards, I hope that you can overcome whatever is happening to you. I'm sure that you can. If you're autistic, you are a body. We have so many talents. We have so many interests. Like, we have so many things going on. There's no way that they can keep us down. There's absolutely no way. Bye bye.